Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, I'm just getting home from work, and I always like to see when the chickens come running up. Boy, she is molting bad, isn't she? That's the other Easter egger, I believe. But anyway, I always like to see them run up when they know I'm coming. And I pulled my cameras up and was watching the chicken pens as I was coming down the dirt road. And guys, I was at least 100 to 150 yards before I got to my yard on the road there. Property lines were right in there. But anyway, I was 100 to 150 yards before I got there. Driving, relatively slow, 20 miles an hour or something. And those chickens started hearing me, and a couple of them had run up to the front, then a couple more, and next thing you know, they were all up there by the time I got in front of the house. They know the sound of my vehicle. And they come a-running. But anyway, as you can see, I'm throwing in some scratch. I got home before dark, so they expect a treat if I get home before dark. So, all right. Now I can go in there, make sure the waterers have water. I know the feeders are good. I filled all three of them up yesterday. And the one with the most chickens over here, it'll go 2 days before it needs filling. So normally I take a bucket in there anyway, because you never know, I might get home. Oop, that can's empty. I need to go to this one. No, I don't. I think I moved back over to here. Let me see. Yep. All right, pause y'all while I get the bucket filled up right there. All right, this is hard to do with one hand. So, all right, pause y'all again so I can get in there. All right, so my barnyard mix right there, that she was molting before. But it looks like her molt is over, her feathers are growing back. But she's still limping on that left foot. I don't know what's going on with it. She doesn't stand on it all the time. She's using it right now, but anyway. All right. So this feeder I did not fill up yesterday. And it's a little bit below half, so let me set y'all down for a second. Fill that feeder up. Ooh, I lost orientation on the camera. I got one egg, and it's a green egg. I'm not getting one every day because that hen, there she is right there. She's an Easter egger. So I don't know if it's her that's laying or this gray one that's out here that's laying. I think it's the gray one, but I don't know that. All right, let me get back out of this side. So Sue still has the 5 ladies with him. And Junior's replacement right here has only got 4, and that one is molting pretty hard. Looks like that one may be starting to molt. All right, and their feeder's a little over half. Let me set this up. Yeah, their feeder's a little bit over half, so I'll just add a little bit more to it. And the rest of what's in this bucket will go in the last pen. It'll just about fill up their bucket. And I got one egg from over here. I've been getting about one a day from this side with these 3 hens, and there went a mouse. They're bedding in there. But some days I get 2 from Sue's pen, and some days I get 2 from this one. Over here, I've been getting anywhere from 6 to 12. Most of the time, that's an Easter egger right there. I believe she lays a blue egg, but they don't lay very well year round, so haven't been getting that egg. Yep, their feeder's pretty low. I'm gonna have to fill it up. Let me show y'all. So it's not empty, but I didn't fill it yesterday. So let me lay the camera down right there. All right, so that's a little over half. That's enough until tomorrow. Then I'll give them a much bigger bucket of feed. But today I've got 2, 4, 6 from this last pen. So I got 8 eggs total today. Yesterday I only got 6. So I can't complain when I get more than I did the day before. So I didn't get any from the first 2 pens yesterday. All 6 came from the White Knight's pen over here yesterday. And then I got 6 today and 1, which made it 8. But anywho, all right. If that's all I did was show y'all me feeding the chickens and talking, it'd be a pretty short video. So I've got something I'm gonna say, but there's nothing I can show you yet. So, I'll get over here and I leave my feed bucket outside, so get my egg basket out of there. I talked to y'all in the last video about me going to look at this off-grid system that a guy was building, and he passed away. And his 2 brothers and sister was wanting to sell all the stuff because the sister's going to move into that house. They all live right there next door to each other. So I did what my buddy asked me, went over there and looked. I'm trying to get the chicken poop off my shoes, so hang on, let me see. Yep, looks good. All right. So I did. I went and looked at this solar system this guy was building and testing and learning what he needed to do to have something, you know. And, apologize. That egg's got a little extra calcium on it. That doesn't hurt them. I'm trying to grab the ones that are just clean. I can put straight in the carton because it takes both hands for me to scrape one of them off. But that 18 pack is done. And then these other 5 will start the next dozen. I'm gonna walk outside. All right, so I did go to the car wash yesterday and just hosed it off. I didn't use the brush or anything. Made my truck look a little bit better. But anyway, I went and looked at that system, and he's got, I couldn't remember the number of batteries, but it ended up being 11 batteries. He's got 3 of the LiPo 4 batteries and 8 100 amp hour batteries, and I don't even know what kind those are. The LifePo 4 are 220 amp hours each, so 660 and 8 is 1400, roughly almost 1500 amp hours of battery. And I currently have a little over 1,000, 1,100, somewhere in there. So it's going to more than double my battery capacity. And he's got 26 panels, 3 different sizes, but they're all 100-watt panels. So I'm going to test those panels and make sure I'm getting out of them what I'm supposed to get out of them. I had to bring the hobo back from the road. And if I am, I'm going to build the panel mounts out here in the open on my field to catch as much sun as possible and get the ones off the roof as well and move them. So I'll go from 10 panels to 36 panels. At least 30, possibly 36. There are 26 panels there. So I may not install all 26 of them, but I will have at least 30 panels, if they're all good, which they should be, installed on my system. So that's going to triple my solar power and more than double my batteries, which is a good jump to getting mine to where I can run much, much longer off grid. So if I'm not running air conditioning or heat, I can run for days, if not permanently, without heating and air off grid. But the heaters are the worst. Just the 2 little heaters that I use in my house, because that's all it takes, boy, they suck up a lot of power fast. And the air conditioners, it takes the air conditioners running about 4 or 5 hours to kill the batteries to where they need recharging. It takes the heaters about 2 maybe. So if I wasn't running heating and air, I could run the entire house pretty much indefinitely with what I've got. So tripling the solar panels and doubling the batteries is going to help my system be much, much closer to being completely off grid, which is what my goal was. So I messaged and called the guy and talked with him, and I went out there Monday after work and I paid him for that, or him and his brother and sister, for the off-grid system, and told them I would be back Saturday morning. A buddy of mine is going to go over there with me with a little trailer he's got, and we're going to disconnect everything and load it all up and bring it home. So I can't go do that and get it all home and just poof, install all of it in one day. There's no way. I've got to put the poles up, build the grid to hold the panels, move them, find out what wire I need, buy that wire, and run the new wire into the battery room on the back of the house. And there's a lot that's got to go into installing all of that to where it's the way I want it to be. If I'm, I'll tell y'all, I added it up at new price. Most of the stuff is pretty much new. I added it up, and he spent between $8,000 and $10,000 on off-grid solar equipment. They were talking about selling it. I told them they could probably get 4 or 5 out of it. I wouldn't take less than 4. Well, they had already agreed that if they could get $3,000 for it, they'd take it. Y'all, that's a third of what this guy spent. So I went and bought it. So I just got to go get all that stuff, get it home, get it, eventually get it all installed and set up. Now, just telling y'all all that for this. Y'all know I've got plans to build all new chicken pens. Well, I can't afford to build the chicken pens and improve the solar panels right there together. I have to save up for this kind of stuff. So that took a big chunk, and the chicken pens may get put off for another 6 months to a year further than I wanted to. I wanted to start on them in the spring. So I may not get to that in spring. I'll probably be working on the off-grid solar, because just because I bought the equipment, I've still got to buy wire and the pipe and the unistrut and all this stuff to build this system to hold all the panels and run the wires and all that good stuff. So I've got it worked out in my mind what I need, but I started checking on the prices on some of that stuff at work, and I get the stuff 10% above cost. Pretty much at cost. And it's still going to cost me close to probably between $500 and $1,000, depending on the wire that I've got to buy, to move the panels from the roof of my house, from the front side of the house up there, and put it on stand back here and run new wire over there into that battery room. And I've got to build a rack in there to hold all these new batteries. I've got to buy the wire to tie them all into the batteries that are already there to make my bank 3 times or more than double what it is now. So there's a lot of money that's got to be spent before I can incorporate it into my system. Is it operational the way he's got it? Yes. But for the system I'm running, my inverter is 240 volts. It's just like the grid power you get from the power company, or I get. His are 120 volt. So I don't, well, as far as I know, I don't know whether I'm going to incorporate 2 of those, both of his, and set mine to the side and maybe just run the well and stuff off of it, or what I'm going to exactly do yet. But I do have that system. It's bought, it's paid for, and there's going to be some solar videos for you guys to watch and follow along with coming in the near future, providing the weather allows me to get out here and do anything. So just wanted to let y'all know that. I know this is a short video. We're only at the 8-minute mark, but you know, springtime comes, there'll be planting and all that that's going to have to happen. I got to finish the raised beds and get those things ready and planted when spring gets here. There's still a lot of projects, like anybody that lives on a homestead or mini farm, whatever you want to call it, chores that's got to be done in order, you know, daily life. So I bought a off-grid system, but I didn't double myself, so it's still just me doing it. So anyway, I hope y'all look forward to those videos, and when I get done with it, I'm hoping I can run at least 80% of the time on my off-grid system. The next big purchase I plan on making is the chicken pens. But when I finish that, unless the second thing comes in available where I can get it, is an electric start propane powered generator. Now y'all know my generator, I converted to propane, but it's pull cord. If I get one that's electric start, I can hook it in with my off-grid system, and it will crank it when it needs to crank and charge the batteries, and I won't even need the grid. So that's my plans. Chicken pens after I finish this solar project, and off-grid or propane generator for the off-grid when I'm done with that. So there's still a lot of projects left to do. And that tower's got to be finished putting together and stood up and secured, so I can put 1 or 2 smaller wind turbines on there and move the CB antennas and radio antennas and TV and all that onto that thing to get it out of the yard and get that project done. So there's always projects to do. But man, I'm looking at the camera and it sure looks like it's daylight out here. But y'all, it is much, much darker than what this camera's showing. In 15 minutes, I'll need a flashlight to walk. But I'm going to get off here, guys. I appreciate y'all following along, hitting subscribe, all that good stuff. Thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I've got to get over there and get my extension cord where the dog's light's supposed to be plugged up. He's untangled it up around his cable again. So I got to go over there and take care of that before I get in the house and try to get myself some supper before it gets too much later. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.